What's up, everybody? It's Kyle with a brand new channel. Just want to introduce everybody to. You might recognize me from the Tripolar Trillionaire podcast or my previous YouTube channels that I've created, which is My Crazy Media and Infinite Hustle. And since I've done those, I've learned some things that didn't work and some things that have, and I'm going to incorporate those into this particular YouTube channel and brand and teach people who are aspiring entrepreneurs really what they need to know and how to get started from where they're at today. Even if you're in debt, if you have things that are standing in your way, obstacles, there's ways around them, and there's ways to get started on your future career today. So, with that being said, let's get started. First and foremost, I know you don't want to hear this, but it's the truth. Entrepreneurs read. The first step in becoming a better entrepreneur is to read more and educate yourself more. The second thing that goes hand in hand with the first thing is exercise. Without exercise and daily health, better health routines, I should say, you don't realize how much educating yourself more and exercising more really does to your income. Your income is directly in proportionate to your health. So if your health is poor and shitty, you have bad health, it's most likely that your income is about the same. You might be in poverty or broke, or maybe just not earning as much as you'd like to. And the biggest things that you're going to learn from this channel is on this very first episode, and that's simply to educate yourself more and exercise more. Daily exercise, daily knowledge, daily education is going to take you to the next step. It's going to get you to where you need to be. Now, like on my podcast, I've recently started numbering the episodes, from 1 and so on and so forth. And I think I'm going to do the same as well with this one. So this is going to be episode number 1. And this is really the fundamentals, the basics that you probably think you already know, or you might have already known, but you don't apply. This is one of those things that the school system did you right with, and they told you this in the very beginning, but since it was brought to your attention so early on and you overlook it, you don't necessarily believe in its power. Warren Buffett and all the other billionaires out there, they read, Bill Gates, they read about a book a week. The average billionaire reads 56 books a year. The average American reads about 1 book per year. So that just shows you right there that the big difference between the average American and a billionaire is the average American doesn't read 1 book per year or 1 book per week. They read 1 book per year. So reading more is definitely going to increase your chances of not only being financially free, but understanding your business and being able to move forward in a more intellectual way. When it comes to your exercise, daily sacrifices and milestones are going to get you to where you need to be. Sacrifices being, that fatty meal that you don't want to necessarily, or that that you shouldn't consume, but you do. Donuts and caffeinated drinks and coffee and fatty foods like fries and burgers and that kind of stuff. You should avoid those things, but you usually don't because they taste good. But daily sacrifices by decreasing the amount of those kind of foods that you put into your system really make a difference on your overall health in general. So doing things like that really increase your chances in becoming healthy and becoming a happier person in general. Another thing is that these daily milestones. So You tell yourself one day that you're going to do 50 push-ups, and then the next day you're going to do 75, and the next day you're going to do 80, and the next day you're going to do 100. You keep increasing until you find what your max is. Then once you find out what your max is, then you go above and beyond that to the next step. And if you can't, say your goal is to walk 5 miles a day, you don't have to walk 5 miles at one stint, one particular time of the day. You could walk for half an hour in the morning or an hour in the morning, and then when lunch time comes around after you eat some lunch, you could go do the same thing for another hour, half an hour, 2 hours, and then maybe before bed you could do the same thing, break it up, and it becomes much more manageable and easier task doing so. The last thing I'm going to leave you with is discussing your dreams and how your goals can always be manageable and broken down into micro goals. And what I mean is, say your goal is to make 1,000 YouTube videos. Now it takes you 2 hours to make a YouTube video, an hour to make a YouTube video, so you got lots of time ahead of you to accomplish this goal. Now, how do you accomplish something so massive like this? Now, you break your goal into micro goals or smaller manageable goals. So you do maybe 2 or 3 videos per week, and over time, if you keep doing that and are consistent and are patient, you can accomplish that goal. And everything and every goal can be broken down into smaller goals and smaller milestones. It just doesn't seem that way. Being a millionaire is exactly the same thing, or a billionaire or a trillionaire, whatever you may be seeking out to reach. Breaking your goals down into manageable goals can really, really set you apart from who you are and who you want to be. I really think if you sit back and just write down, your yearly, your monthly, your daily, and maybe a 5-year plan of what your goals are, and then you break those into smaller increments, the task isn't overwhelming no more, and the task is doable. Of course, things are going to take time, and it's going to take patience, like I said, and it's going to take lots of persistence, and it's going to take a lot of overcoming failure and overcoming pain and struggle, but in the end it's all going to be worth it. So what do you really want in this world? What do you want? What's your passion? Do you know what your passion is? Do you know what your dream is? Do you know all that right now? I'm guessing most of you have no idea. So it's time you pull out your notepad, start jotting some stuff down. But I recommend starting out with monthly goals, 6-month goals, yearly goals, and 5-year goals. And write down maybe 10 for each of those. And then once you've done that, figure out how you can break those goals down into even smaller goals. And that could be your timeline of your daily agenda. And yeah, I lied. One last thing for this episode before I call it quits is time management. Now, being a successful entrepreneur requires extreme attention to detail and time management. If you're not doing things in a precise way or orderly fashion, then things will never get done. So if you set yourself up and you organize your time and you accomplish so many goals before noon and so many goals after noon every day, and you break down your entire day into hour segments and have an assignment for each of those, then your goals are so much easier to accomplish, and they're so much easier to really realize that they're going to come true. So that's all I got for you today. I hope you liked the first episode. I hope this helps anybody out there who's trying to become an entrepreneur or who is already an aspiring entrepreneur. And like I said, I got a lot more coming. These videos aren't necessarily all going to show my face or show anything in particular, but I am going to do and give you the best that I can from what I'm presented with already. And that's a smartphone, the knowledge in my brain, and the resources of the internet. So I think with that, I can really assist people in their journey in not only earning more income, but becoming a better person in general, as a whole. So thank you for viewing. Thank you for checking out this new channel, this new journey that I'm on. I really hope that it benefits somebody out there in some way. I know that the knowledge that I've learned over these past couple years as being an aspiring entrepreneur has really set me apart from the norm and the others. But there's a long way to go, and if we don't start knocking these things out now, then no one, we're never going to do it. So it's either now or never. It's time to set yourself above the bar and do things like they should be done, but this way you'll have a direct path. So this is the first episode, and I really think that by about episode 500, if you're still paying attention, you're really gonna have gained some true insight on what it's like to be an entrepreneur, or how to be an entrepreneur, or earn more income, for that matter. So that being said, your destiny is behind the next door. Are you ready to open it? Have a blessed day. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.